Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Om Swastiastu, Shalom, Namo Buddhaya, Salam Kebajikan. The honorable judges and all distinguished participants, good morning. May you always in good health and showered by the blessings of God. First of all, let me express my highest gratitude for your willingness to be engaged with my personal freedom of thoughts. Thank you for having me in this blissful moment. So today, I would like to deliver two different topics that are still related. I try to elaborate into one clear and concise speech. The focus of this narration would be the Indonesia government quick response to tackle the impact and protect the micro, small, medium enterprises or MSMEs business from worst danger of the economic crisis situation. COVID-19 has created bad damages in many sectors, not only in health sectors, but also social, economic, business, trade, service, and even tourism. The economic sectors has affected badly in this COVID-19 crisis, drive the world to this situation called recession. Ladies and gentlemen, MSMEs have been proved to be able to survive in the former economic crisis. As the backbone of Indonesia macroeconomy, MSMEs hold a major contribution in the Indonesia gross domestic product or GDP, around 61.7%. It absorbs more than 97% national labor and 116 million job fields. Surprisingly, 99% of total Indonesia business unit is MSMEs. This data analytics shows that MSMEs is the fundamental assets of Indonesia economy. So ladies and gentlemen, how is the fiscal intervention by the government? Government should formulate comprehensive policy measures for saving lives and economy. Government seriousness on handling COVID-19 pandemic is reflected by the release of government regulation in lieu of Law No. 1 year 2020 about state financial policy and financial system stability to fight against COVID-19 and or facing the threat of national economic and or financial stability. This regulation has been ratified into Law No. 2 year 2020. Government allocated 695.2 trillion rupees from revenue and state spending or APBN in order to finance many sites such as healthcare, social safety net, business incentives, MSMEs, corporation, sectoral, and local government. On the other hand, government rapid response on tackling the pandemic situation started with giving fiscal stimulus to the MSMEs in several actions. First, interest subsidy for about 35.28 trillion rupees. Second, fund placement in bank for MSMEs credit restructuring for 78.78 trillion rupees. Third, return guarantee. Fourth, working capital guarantee or stop loss for about 6 trillion rupees. Fifth, government-borne final income tax or tax incentives for about 2.4 trillion rupees. The tariff of the final income tax is 0.5% from the gross profit. With this relaxation, MSMEs don't need to pay the taxes until December 2020. They only need to upload monthly report from the Directorate General of Taxes website. Sixth, investment financing to cooperative through LPDB KUMKM for 1 trillion rupees. Also, government gives another social responsibility called Productive Presidential Incentive or Banpres Produktif for 12 million ultra micro business units with the amount of 2.4 million rupees each and directly transferred to their bank account. So, ladies and gentlemen, hopefully, these various fiscal facilities can be the solution of MSME's problem on financing areas such as sales drop, low demand, raw material availability, obstructed distribution, and capital problem or financial support to cover the operational cost. So, ladies and gentlemen, how to energize the local MSMEs? There are at least two additional strategies to boost up and empower the MSMEs back on track. Just like the beautiful quote from Sir Winston Churchill, a pessimist sees the difficulty in every opportunity. An optimist sees the opportunity in every difficulty. First, digital literacy, uplifting, and collaboration. So ladies and gentlemen, MSME's digitalization can also be the strategy to level up their performance and elevate the demand by enlarging the market. The urgency of the movement is because the major change in the producers' and the consumers' habit and behavior because of the pandemic and physical distancing campaign. That's why migrating the conventional marketing method into online marketing method would be a brilliant idea. Data implied in 2020, about 10 million MSMEs business are targeted to enter the digital ecosystem. Up to 8 million MSMEs business already entered the marketplace platforms in the beginning of this year. And amount expands to 9.6 million by the end of this year. This is a good signal for the government to build a good relation across the ministry and institution by implementing joint program. For example, creating intensive online training for the micro business about online marketing, technological approach on selling product, rebranding products, or product packaging. Indonesia Ministry of Cooperation and SMEs has certain projects to support MSMEs business units such as Digital Hero Program. This program gives the chance to the youngsters to assist the local MSMEs that haven't went online yet by teaching them how to rebranding and repackaging product so that the product values will increase. Otherwise, the Ministry of Cooperation and SMEs also engage with the Ministry of State Enterprises to develop joint program called Pasar Digital or Digital Market. This platform gathers the MSMEs and the state enterprises, or we call it with BUMN, to accelerate the state enterprises spending on MSME. This synergy and cooperation will bring a positive implication to the MSMEs to optimize their quality and ready to compete in the international market. So ladies and gentlemen, second, financial support from the government. Statistical Center Agency or BPS reported there are 64.2 million MSMEs units in Indonesia in 2018. Unfortunately, only 13% of the amount that comprehends digital literacy and 98% of them are still unbankable. Looking this fact, Center of Government Investment or PIP as the special mission vehicle under Ministry of Finance collaborate with Jagoan Indonesia to apply series of coaching and assisting to the UMI debitor in order to penetrate into digital platform. The tagline of the projects is UMI Ready to Go Online. These projects include how to create interesting visual of product, manage social media, and open virtual store in marketplace. Well, ladies and gentlemen, UMI itself is ultra micro credit that distributed to lowest business units or ultra micro that are still unbankable. UMI also actively buys and promotes the debitor products through many channels as their social support. Ladies and gentlemen, we are arrived at the end section of my speech. As conclusion, this pandemic teaches us in all levels to be agile and concerned about our lives. There are many assignments to be done, but we cannot do it alone. This is not only about surviving alone, but surviving together. Healthcare still being the priority because there are no economic growth or progress in the middle of sick people. In the other words, our economic won't be healed if our people are still unhealed. Otherwise, our economy also needs to be secured to prevent the worst and unprecedented condition in the future. So, this is the end of my speech today. I hope some of the points that I conveyed today make us more appreciate our lives, future, and nation. I thank you for the attention. Good day. Wassalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.